learn from the past, or repeat its horrors in imagination endlessly. Think about a time when you betrayed or hurt someone in a damaging manner, or a time when you were that someone who was on the receiving end. In both circumstances, as perpetrator or victim, the actual events and the associated memories evoke fear, guilt, and shame. Why? As perpetrators, we end up betraying ourselves. We fail to be the kind of people others want to be around. As victims, we go through the experience of being mistreated by another individual. In both of these cases, what matters the most is that we do not want the events to reoccur. If certain memories still summon fear, guilt, or shame of any kind, we must understand why those memories evoke such emotions. Having horrible memories is one thing, but not knowing why it happened is worse. When certain memories evoke a sense of irrational fear within us, our emotional systems are trying to protect us by telling us something. But if we don't know why something happened, we won't have a good idea as to what our psyche is trying to tell us. Jordan Peterson writes, "A part of reality, and a perilous part, has remained unmapped, low resolution, lacking sufficient detail, and so has a part of you. You are not sharp, alert, dangerous, wary, wise, or kind enough, who knows, so that the terror systems protecting you are confident in your ability to wend your way successfully through the same maze if it once again manifests itself in front of you." Reflecting back on a traumatizing memory in great detail can be a very painful task. A lot of us choose to not relive the suffering and instead decide to carry on with our lives while distracting ourselves, hoping that we will eventually forget about it. But this type of avoidance will not serve us well in the long term, and we will remain vulnerable to the same kind of harm in the future. An unsolved problem seldom sits there, in stasis. It grows new heads like a hydra. One lie, one act of avoidance breeds the necessity for more. One act of self-deception generates the requirement to buttress that self-deceptive belief with new delusions. So while we avoid our past mistakes and traumas, we get weaker. We are essentially refusing to change for the better, making us less than what we could be and should be. We have also set a poor example for ourselves, making it more likely for us to make the same mistakes. Turning a blind eye to shortcomings in the past will only compound the actual problem. Jordan Peterson is urging all of us to transform chaos into order, because if we don't process the past and bring order to it, chaos will remain to haunt us. It is necessary to understand the negative well enough so that it can be circumvented as we move into the future, if we do not wish to remain tormented by the past. By not properly facing the past chaos, we are essentially allowing parts of our souls to be stuck in the past. A part of our souls are still a child or teenager from years ago. This is no way to live, especially if we are to take on more responsibility in life and grow. How can we move forward and become a dependable individual to others when a part of us is still years or decades behind? We must all confront the messy, ugly parts of our past if we want to grow. We must muster the courage to look at past tragedies in the eye and figure out how to prevent ourselves from making the same mistakes. This all starts by grabbing a paper and pencil and writing down in detail what happened. We have every reason to avoid facing the bitter truth, but making what is and what was clear and fully comprehended can only protect us. If you are suffering from memories that will not stop tormenting you, there is possibility that could be your very salvation, waiting there to be discovered. If old memories still upset you, write them down carefully and completely. Thank you for watching.